So changes have been made to SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, in regards to the work requirement for being eligible for SNAP. And it's being sold as a way to encourage more people to work, but the truth is the vast majority of people on SNAP already work, and I'll explain what that is, what this change is, but it's also worth noting that the average SNAP recipient is getting about $180 per month, so it's not like anybody's getting rich on this program. Now, previously, if you're an able-bodied adult between the ages of 18 and 54 without any kids, you have to work at least 80 hours per month in order to keep SNAP benefits. Federal lawmakers are making what's actually a pretty substantial change to this, as they're saying now, instead of every adult from 18 to 54, it's going to be every adult from 18 to 64 without dependent children have to meet that same work requirement. The problem is the group that this change will sweep into this is often the group that it faces some of the biggest issues when it comes to work-related issues or disability issues. But the part that completely undercuts all this is, or at least the justification for this, is most SNAP recipients who can work already do. So the idea that people receiving food assistance are refusing to work simply isn't the case. For many households, SNAP is a temporary lifeline that's used during a gap in employment. So where this new harm becomes a real issue is these new rules aren't going to affect people who won't work. It's going to affect the people who can't work. Experts are noting that the new requirements are likely to push out disabled adults who struggle to maintain steady hours or navigate these various verification systems, as well as people with chronic health conditions or disabilities that don't fit the narrow guidelines that are now being required by the federal government. Another big issue is people who are exempt from this requirement used to be homeless individuals, veterans, or young adults who just aged out of foster care. This changes all that. Those individuals will no longer be exempt from this, and many of those adults are the ones who face significant physical and mental health challenges, and they're not going to be able to meet these requirements. Now, the Congressional Budget Office is estimating that these changes are going to cut off food assistance for at least 2.5 million people per month on average over the next decade. So what's really important to note in all of these changes is SNAP is already functioning as it's supposed to. It is a short-term support program, and it's being used as such. Reporting shows that households rely on SNAP temporarily, often during periods of job loss or instability, and then they cycle off the program. The average person is on SNAP for 14 months or less, and a third of people are on it for a year or less. So when you look at the full picture, these changes aren't going to solve a problem. They're actually going to create one. It's going to do little to increase employment, but they will almost certainly force working families, older adults, and many disabled individuals, including veterans, off of this program, which is helping them to put food on the table.